Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about whether you should be upgrading your gear or your augments because I just came to the conclusion that there's actually a separate upgrade path that I never even thought about until I realized it was possible today. But before we jump into the video, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to cover are the armors. So we can see over here, I'm currently still using a Swarzest armor. And here's the Sasato armor, which I think most of you guys are probably using. And then we've got the Ephetus armor, which is the new armor. So something I want to bring to your attention is the Ephetus armor over here gives you 90 defense, gives you 30 HP, 4 PP, and 3% potency on 2 of the different stats. So if you want the Arga, that gives you melee and range. And then if we look at the Sasato armor over here, it's almost the exact same stats, right? It gives you the 30 HP, the 4 PP, though it's exactly the same. But something I want to bring to your attention is the Swarzest armor actually gives you 87 defense versus the Sasato armor that only gives you 86. So I was wondering for the longest time, why on earth does the Swarzest armor give you more defense than the Sasato armor? And the reason why I had this question in the back of my head for the longest time was because if you look at my Swarzest armor over here, it's only plus 71 defense. And I was like, wait a second, the website says 87, why is that the case? And then I realized, remember they said anything that is 6-star rarity or below can be enhanced up to plus 60? That includes your armors. It never crossed my mind that my armors could be limit broken and plus to plus 60. And so you can see over here with my Swarzest armor at plus 60, I actually have 87 defense versus the Sasato armor, which will only give me 86 defense. Now, of course, by using the Swarzest armor, I am losing the 5 HP as well as the 1 extra PP, and of course the extra damage potency because the Swarzest armor only specializes in 1 different potency, while if you look at the Sasato armors as well as the Ephetus armor, those are mixed potencies. So if you do plan to multi-weapon and use 2 different damage types, so let's say katana and bow, then you probably want to switch off the Swarzest armor ASAP because the Swarzest armor is only going to give you melee potency, so it's not going to help you much on your bow's damage. Future care over here, I just realized that the Sasato armor is also a 6-star rarity armor, which means it can also be limit broken and then enhance the plus 60 as we can see over here. You can see when I limit break, I do have the opportunity. It will cost 4 arms refiners, but I can limit break my Sasato armor Arga in order to enhance it all the way to plus 60, which will of course give me the 86 armor. But this really boggles my mind now that the Sasato armor, which is a 6-star rarity armor, has less defense than the Swarzest armor, which is a 5-star rarity armor. So I don't really know the scaling or how this works, but I think I can very confidently conclude that if you are using Swarzest armor or the Sasato armor and you've heavily invested into them, that there is absolutely no need for you to go for the Ephetus armor. The only reason you would want to go for the Ephetus armor is for min-max purposes, especially if you are using the Sasato, because with the Sasato armor, the damage difference is so small that I can't justify the cost, because remember, if you do upgrade to these new armors, that means you have to re-augment them, you gotta re-enhance them, blah blah blah, while if you use your old armor, all you need to do is limit break and enhance and you're done, because all of your augments are already done on your Sasato armors. So yeah, this is quite a big deal that I just realized this. And this patch has been out for 5 days. So that's some information for you guys. I mean, hopefully this saves you guys a little bit of money, because it definitely is going to save me a lot of money because I'm not going to be upgrading now. I'm literally just going to be sticking with my Swarzest armor at plus 60, simply because the defense is pretty dang good already. There's no real need for me to upgrade, and I'm sticking with my katana anyway, so I don't really need the mixed damage potency until maybe the volcano region. So this is definitely going to help me save a ton of resources so that I can reinvest it into fashion with the Overlord Scratch coming out next month. And then on top of that, of course, there's going to be a lot of new upgrades in December. So yeah, I can just save all my resources till then. But the next thing I want to talk about are the fusion augments. So you can see I'm currently using Def Might now. I used to use Alt Secreta 3, however, I'm removing all of my Alt Secreta 3s and replacing them with Def Might, simply because Def Might is so easy to obtain now. You simply go to a PSE zone whenever you kill any of those elite enemies, these, they have a pretty high chance of dropping these fusion capsules. So you guys are probably like me and you're probably swimming in a bunch of these different mixed capsules. So make sure to take advantage of them and look at the market prices too. Like the Def Mite capsules are going down in price. They're significantly cheaper than before. So if you do need any of these mixed capsules, I don't recommend buying now. Honestly, I don't recommend buying anything on the market right now, simply because the prices are out of whack and everything's really expensive. Everything's on a downward slope. So if you want to buy like a rugged weapon, I would wait like 2 weeks and then buy it, because then everything will be dirt cheap. But yeah, it's really up to you. It's your money. I'm not your dad, so do what you want. But with that being said, let us limit break the rest of our armors over here, and then we're going to enhance them all the way to plus 60. Because we can. So boom, then we're going to go item enhancement. And luckily we ran all of those yellow triggers before, so we have a bunch of armors at plus 30. And then we've got a couple at plus 20 as well, so we're going to use that in order to get all of our armors all the way to plus 60. And boom, with our armor fully enhanced to plus 60, you can see my defense stat is now 1066. Attack is still the same. These stats haven't changed at all, because these stats are based off my augments, but the defense stat definitely did increase significantly because, well, we just went from plus 50 to plus 60. So in conclusion, as much as the Phantasy armors are the new shiny new toy that I know a lot of people do want to upgrade to, if you don't have the money, or if you want to save money, you don't have to upgrade to those armors. You can stick with your current Sasato armors, or if you're really cheap like myself and you're still using the Swarzest armors, maybe because you invested a lot into them and you really don't see any reason to upgrade to the new Phantasy armor, then you don't need to upgrade. Simply enhancing all of your armors to plus 60 and you will have plenty of defensive stats. You'll be good to go. There's no real need to upgrade to the new armors. Now regarding augments, I do recommend updating all of your current augments. So example, like your Boss Soul, if you want to upgrade to the Boss Soul 4, you could do that. You don't have to. It is leaning a little bit towards the min-max territory because you're only getting 0.5% more damage by upgrading from Boss Soul 3 to Boss Soul 4. So there's no real need to do it, unless of course you can do it extremely cheap or you farmed everything yourself. But the fusion capsules, I want you guys to take advantage of the prices of the fusion capsules, on how easily you can obtain them and how cheap they are, that you actually utilize them into your augments, into your build, because they are very, very powerful and very useful. You can always use Def Stat as a replacement for Stat 4. I believe Mill did all the math and it's just like a slight DPS increase if you go Stat 4, and it's not that big of a DPS increase. So if you do want to save a metric ton of Meseta, just skip Stat 4 unless it's Precision 4. Precision 4 is going for like 1,000 Meseta now. Then by all means go for that. But if you're going for Might 4, which is going for like several 100,000 Meseta on the market, you can skip that and just go Def Might instead, because the stats are relatively similar. The reason why it's relatively similar is of course because of our Kaiser weapons. All of our 7-star rarity weapons have a 50% to 100% variance. So there's a lot of RNG there. In order to minimize the RNG, of course, we have potency floor, which is what the Def series does. It increases potency floor so that there's less variance. And that is the reason why, if you can't afford Stat 4, you can always go the Def Stat fusion capsules instead. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome, for the heals, the boosts, the rest.